Hey everyone, thanks for watching today. I have a requested video for you. This is my HD brow tutorial. It is a step-by-step instructional tutorial, as well as I'll have all that stuff linked in the down box below. As well as if you aren't already subscribed to my channel, please do so. I would greatly appreciate it. And if you'd like to see how I get HD brows, then please keep on watching. My tip number one, which I think is the absolute most important, is that you need to find a professional, an esthetician, who is really good at shaping brows that suit your face. Because without that structure, doesn't matter what you do, how you fill it in, you'll never have something that frames your eyes and your face. So that is beyond important. I used to do waxing back in the day. Now I've kind of shifted to threading. So if you're in the GTA, I'll put a link in the description box to where I like to go. But that is super duper important. And then obviously once you have that perfect shape, is maintaining it. So while between either waxing or threading or whatever, you're either plucking a couple hairs here and there just to maintain the shape as best as you possibly can. Tip number two is then you need to look at your eyebrow color. With my experience, I find that if you have dark brows and slash or dark hair, that you go 1 to 2 shades lighter than your brows slash hair. And that includes people that are redhead. I suggest that you go more of an auburn tone. If you have fair brow hair and fair hair on your head, then you want to go 1 or 2 shades darker, which tends to be the more taupey tones. Filling in your brows is just one component of getting the HD. The second component is you need to find a concealer that suits you. I like to use MAC's. This is the NC20 Studio Finish Concealer. I like it because the formulation is a little bit thicker, gives you that control. And the last product that you're going to need to make your brows HD is you're going to want to get a brow gel. Right now, I've been loving forever and ever the L'Oreal Brow Stylist Plumper. My color is medium dark. The other component of it is brushes as well. You're going to need an angled brush, a synthetic angled brush or natural, whatever floats your boat. Sometimes switch up brushes, but for the most part, they are all very thin and fine angle brushes. I never use anything too thick. And I also like to use a small synthetic flat brush. This brush right here is the Morphe S4, and this angle brush happens to be the Morphe F6. And you're going to need a tool like this that has the brush side. This is the Morphe M414, and you're going to want to just make sure your brows are all combed in the direction. So the first thing I'm going to do is take my Inglot Gel Brow Pomade. This is in the number 16, and I'm going to take my fine angle brush. And what I like to do is I like to keep my front bit as clear as possible, so that way it's almost like an ombre from kind of like sparse to super full. So I like to just kind of fill in where all the gaps are and start to build a shape. If you see with my brow, you can see a little bit of gradient going on and then it getting fuller at the back. And then whatever, I haven't dipped any more product, and then whatever's left over, I kind of just slowly blend. Now, if your brows are like me, which I think 90% of the population is, your brows are completely different than each other, and it drives me absolutely bonkers. So then what I try to do, because I find this is my best shaped brow, is I try my best to make them look very similar. Unfortunately, the only downside to that is this brow ends up probably getting a lot more drawn on, but I want them to look as symmetrical as possible. Then go back to this brush, and I just like to just make sure that my front brows and where I've started filling in are nicely blended. Then what I like to do, just for my own sanity, because I'm a face toucher, is I like to set the gel only because I'm not worried or paranoid, but in a way, yes, is that I might smudge it off. So you're going to want to get a brow powder. I have always been using for at least 10 years, maybe longer, I don't even know, Max Charcoal Brown. I'm just using that same angle brush. I'm not going crazy. I'm just kind of lightly going over where I filled in and setting it. With that, I've done the pomade. I've set my brows with powder. I'm then going to set my brows into place, the hairs that is, and build up the texture a bit with the gel. So the way I like to do it is I like to do my front bits up and then slowly style it out. Once your brows now are set in place, you're going to want to carve them out using concealer. So like I said, you kind of want a thicker grade concealer. You don't want anything that's too runny because you want the control and the precision. Using a small detailed synthetic brush that's flat would be your best choice. You're going to take your synthetic brush and you're going to load up your brush with product, getting as close as you can. You're going to carve out your brows. So this is what it's going to look like. So you can see there's a very definitive, harsh line. And I'm going to leave that harsh line, pick up some more product. Now I'm not going to apply any more product, and because I blended already down on my eyelid, I'm just going to make sure that my middle is blended and that harsh line up at the top is now going to be blended upwards onto my forehead. So as you can see, my brows are now completely filled in and fairly HD looking. They've been carved out using concealer. And now the last part you're going to want to do is obviously apply your foundation. I'm using the Chanel Vita Lumiere Aqua in beige amber. This is where you would technically just apply your foundation and buff it in as normal. The only thing you have to be kind of careful is when you are blending near your brows where the concealer is. You just have to take a little bit more time to kind of get it all nice and flawless because again, remember that is already highlighted for you. So this is my finished how to get HD brow tutorial. I hope you guys enjoyed it. As always, I hope you have a fantastic day, whatever you're doing. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, comment below, share, all that good stuff. Thanks for watching. Bye!